Yo, how we doing? Yo, SRP, my guy. Always first. What's up, bro? Josh, how we doing, bro? Oh, yeah, I recognize your name. What's up, bro? Gaming, Jarno, what's up, bro? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Oh, my shoulder hurts. I think I hurt my shoulder lifting. Honey, what's up, bro? Gang. Derek, how we doing? How's everybody doing, man? I hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody spent some time with their family or just decompressed. When are we starting? I'm just going to let a couple more people get in here and then we'll get it going. Sundays are football days. I do my charts, I do my analysis, I decompress, and I just watch some football and enjoy the day. Usually I'll spend it with family or my girlfriend, but she's coming over tomorrow. But yeah, man, it's really important to decompress on the weekends. Spend time with your family and like understand that trading is such a mentally taxing job. You need to have that balance in decompression. Like that needs to be a thing. There's no debating. You know, you need to have that balance. So I'll let a few more people get in here and then we'll get it going. I really miss these Sunday talks. What do you mean? I feel like I'm pretty consistent with them. But get more of me in the Discord, man, because I'm live on the Discord, in the Discord server, live trading like 3 or 4 times a week usually. My shoulder hurts. Oh, the weekly forecast, yeah. Dude, I shaved my head. You guys want to see this? I'm bald now. Check this out. So, my dad's fully bald. So I just have bad genetics. Like, it's cooked. I'm going to be bald anyway. And now I have, like, a bald spot. So, I literally just shaved my head. I'm bald. Kind of crazy. Looks wild from the side. My girl said she likes it though, so we're good. So yeah, get used to bald trading patiently. It looks weird from this angle. Don't lie. But nah, I don't know. It's easier. It's easier to be bald, man. Is what it is. You got to deal with the cards that you're dealt. Did my analysis before you, so I compare notes. Perfect. All right, so you already did your analysis. Oh yeah, no, I need the beard, bro. I need the beard. The beard has to be a thing. But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it could be a lot worse. I feel like I have a decent head shape, so it is what it is. The girlfriend said she likes it, so we're all good. But yeah, I mean, you just got to deal with the cards you're dealt. I could sit around and whine and lose my confidence and be upset about it, or I could accept it for what it is and continue to press forward. You know, everything in life, whether you're poor, you're rich, whether you're sick, whatever it is, you know, break your arm. Like, I know I'm saying negative things right now, but whatever it may be, you just have to deal with the cards that you're dealt, right? So I'm so unbelievably blessed. I would never let something like, you know, going bald affect how I perceive life or how grateful I am to be in the place that I am, you know? So everything in life is perspective. It's how you perceive the things that are thrown your way. It's how you deal with the cards that you were dealt, right? So very, very important to understand. Did my analysis before? Yeah, I read that. I'm already in your Discord. My Discord name is Sarp. Yeah. I recognize you, brother. Don't think people really understand how the job of trading is to actually be in freedom. Not exactly. Yeah, like you don't want to get into trading and like you don't want to leave your 9 to 5 to trade and then still be working a 9 to 5 when you're trading. So that's why I really like my 8 to 12 time window of execution. And just having that balance and being able to get off the charts within a couple hours is a blessing, because then you have the rest of the day to do what you got to do. Still look fire. Appreciate it. Prophet Palace, what's up, bro? All right. I use 8 to 12 just because that's what I've always used. It's what my data says. It's just when I execute. I show up 8 to 12. That's when there's volatility. Hair maintenance every day is a hassle. I mean, yeah, bro. Obviously, I'd like to have a nice head of hair and be able to do that, but you just deal with the cards you're dealt. It's really easy for me to shave it too. And, I mean, yeah, it looks better. In my opinion, it's going to look better bald. Like, if I just keep shaving it bald and leaving it, just being a bald man, like, it's better than having a crazy receding hairline and then a bald spot on the back. Like, it looks bad like that. I'd rather just shave it. So it is what it is. Like I said, you just got to deal with the cards that you're dealt. I could sit around and whine about it or feel like a victim, but the reality is it's just a surface level thing. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hair. Do you still trade New York AM? Yeah, I do. I'll trade New York. I'll trade New York AM. Let me adjust this. Even if there's no news, personally, but I use the economic calendar as a guide for what days there's going to be volatility. But for my futures model for Solis, I'll trade AM with no news. You still trade? Yes. All right. So let's talk about this economic calendar. So I'll trade Monday, but inherently I tend not to be trading on Monday because Mondays just generally lack volatility. Mondays generally consolidate. They lack news. So more often than not, I don't take trades on Monday, but I will. It just, the stars need to align per se, because there needs to be volatility. There needs to be clarity that, you know, price is moving. There needs to be a lot of high probability things align. So more often than not, I'm not trading Mondays, but it's not like a set rule where I can't trade a Monday. If things set up, if my edge is there, that things are moving and it looks high probability, I'll trade on a Monday. It's just more often than not, that's not the case. All right, so no news on Monday, right? Like I just talked about exactly what I'm saying right now. Mondays are generally low probability. They lack volatility. They lack news. And so they're going to tend to be more often than not consolidation, like a lack of fair value gaps. And, you know, everything that we do is built off of trading, expanding price action, trading fair value gaps, identifying fair value gaps. And so Monday with no news doesn't look good. Want to avoid that. Be highly skeptical on Monday. Like I said, I will trade a Monday with my Solis model on futures, 8 to 12. But I'm very, very, very skeptical of price, and I demand a lot, and it needs to check all my boxes. Pound red folder on Tuesday, right? So if you're intraday trading 8 to 12 or whatever, when I was intraday trading Forex within New York, I would demand red folder on the pair that I'm trading. So if I'm trading a pound cross or a pound USD pair or whatever, I would intraday trade that on Tuesday because there's red folder. Wednesday we have Canadian dollar and pound red folder. Thursday we have euro, pound, and USD. So there's only one day of USD red folder this week. Again, like last week, lacking volatility in terms of the news drivers on US dollar. So if we removed all the other currencies, right, the only day that has red folder right now is Thursday for US dollar, which is not ideal. We want to see more news drivers than that, but it is what it is. So Thursday is when we have some red folder injection for, you know, indices, dollar, everything like that. Majors. And then Friday we have Canadian dollar red folder. So we're just using this economic calendar every single week as a roadmap to identify what days are going to be low probability, what days are likely to expand. And on the days that are going to be low probability, I'm highly skeptical of price and I'm more willing to sit out. I'm more likely to just avoid price action if it's not showing me the signatures that I want to see. Are you swing trader or not? So for a little bit there, I was focusing on my Solos model trading intraday, but I'm going to start swinging again because it's really simple. I wanted to just take some time to focus on intraday trading and like apply all my focus and energy towards that. But I'm feeling really good. I feel comfortable with everything. I want to just do both. And it's super, super easy for me to swing trade the things that I'm already looking at. You know, if you look right here, I'm already looking at all these things. And so I'm already doing the work on the higher time frame. So I'll be swing trading mainly things of like this on a CFD swing account. So this list right here. I'm not touching crosses. I'm not swinging crosses, but I will swing everything that I'm already looking at, as well as trade it intraday. So we'll have the swinging and we'll have the intraday. All of that will be posted in the Discord, you know, in the academy, live traded, all of that. So there's going to be swing trade ideas as well provided by me. Do demand news prior, not just on the day. I have to sneeze. Damn. How often do you see someone sneeze on stream? Bless you. Thank you. Greetings from Nigeria. What's up, Emmanuel? But nah, just demand red folder on the day. Thank you for the blessings. If we have a A+ setup, but there's no red folder news, it is not important, right? Right, if price is creating fair value gaps, if price is expanding, it's showing intention to move, then I would argue it's good to trade. It all comes down to if there is a presence of fair value gaps in price. All right, you know what the drill is now. We start with dollar, we work our way through this. I cleaned a lot of my charts. I'm gonna go ahead and remove anything that I have here. All right. Dollar. We talked about dollar not shifting on the lower time frames yet, so we remained bullish this entire way through. Yes, we were in the monthly SIBI, the monthly bearish fair value gap, but the lower time frame order flow never pointed lower. The gaps never pointed lower. Nothing has shifted in terms of respecting the SIBI yet. So until that happens, I'll still be bullish. We are in an area here where we could potentially, you know, shift and trade lower. So I'll still be gauging the daily and 4-hour order flow to see if we end up shifting. But as of right now, we're just having a strong push through this monthly SIBI. Weekly current leg is pointing higher. We're creating gaps higher, right? 2 bullish for value gaps. Trading deeper into that monthly SIBI. I'm not worried about things on the left. I'm only worried about this current price action over here. Daily, having a strong retracement here. So if this, let me get rid of these fair value gaps for you guys. Hold on. If this, sorry, one more fair value gap. All right, if this daily gap right here gets closed below, if we create new gaps lower on the daily and we disrespect this bullish one, that would be really nice for lower prices. To me, I'd be looking at bearish dollar, lower dollar. So that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. This daily gap right here, right, this current leg on the daily is going to be our compass per se, right? If we respect this daily gap and trade higher, we know we're still bullish on dollar, right? We'll have daily internal to external. But if we fail to respect this daily gap, this leg right here, and we begin to create new bearish fair value gaps lower on the daily, then perhaps we're beginning to respect this monthly SIBI and trade lower. And so we always want to be reading and gauging that lower time frame order flow and understanding where the gaps are pointing. Well, right now the gaps on the daily are still pointing higher. They've been respecting. So we want to, you know, submit to that and see if we end up respecting this bullish fair value gap. If not, and we get disrespect and new gaps lower, then okay, we have to readjust and we're looking at bearish dollar. But for now, we want to just be reading this daily for value gap and understanding respect or disrespect of it. So I'll throw it on the wait list, kind of neutral on dollar right now, being that we're in an area where we could shift here on the daily, but we also have this daily internal to external. So I'm really just gauging whether or not we respect or disrespect that daily gap. So like I always say, the analysis on these currencies right here is going to be directly applicable to majors. So I don't do majors, I just do the futures currencies, and you're able to just directly apply that to them. DW, yo, first time catching the stream and watching for you. What's up, bro? Appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you find some value from the stream. So when we don't have a clear understanding of dollar and what dollar wants to do, right? When we're neutral or in the middle on dollar with in terms of bias or draw, then it becomes harder to get clarity on these majors and whatnot. So it really comes down, like my opinion on majors really comes down to what dollar ends up doing. Do we respect or disrespect that daily gap? Why do you not swing crosses? I was in the past. I just don't have the brain points. Like, I don't want to be looking at crosses all the time. There's just too many, bro. I don't want to. I feel like I'll get burnt out if I'm trying to swing all these. So I just don't want to. Also, they have bad spreads that roll over, and it's kind of annoying. Like, some of their spreads are terrible. Okay, so Australian dollar swept the monthly buy side. We're trading lower into this monthly OB. Right? If dollar shifts here, this would make a lot of sense. We're respecting this monthly order block, begin to trade higher. I could see it, right? But we need to see lower dollar. This is why I keep saying, right? It all comes down to this right here. Everything that you're gonna, in terms of my analysis on majors and understanding where they're going, is gonna come down to this daily leg on dollar, right? So I want you guys to be actively monitoring this daily for value gap on dollar going into the week and understanding, all right, do we wick it and respect and trade higher, or do we disrespect this and begin to create gaps lower, point lower? Because this really could potentially be the top on dollar. But again, I'm submitting to that long bias until we get these gaps lower, until we get that disrespect. So until we see this, something like this, a disrespect of that gap and new gaps lower, I'm still going to be bullish on dollar. Right? It's like innocent until proven guilty, or the other way around, right? So bullish until proven bearish, until we shift. And if we don't, then we're just continuing to be long biased on dollar. I haven't looked at gold yet, no. When you use swing points instead of fair value gap. When do you use swing points instead of fair value gaps? You want to use them at, it's just external and internal range liquidity. So the fair value gaps within these ranges are internal, and then the swing points on the outside are external. So I want to be using the external, like the swing points, as my higher time frame PD ray when it's a stop hunt in the direction of the higher time frame draw. Yeah, right. Dixie's 50-50, exactly. So I could see this going either way. We could respect this monthly order block and begin to trade higher and shift if dollar shifts, or if we just continue to get bullish dollar, then I'd be looking at this sell side on Australian dollar, because we're failing to offer fair value on the weekly. We're trading lower. I'd be looking at the sell side next. So it really comes down to, again, bullish or bearish dollar. If we're bearish on dollar and we shift, then I'm likely expecting this to trade higher. If we are continued bullish on dollar, then I'm looking at this sell side to act as a draw. So it all comes down to dollar. It's going to be the same thing on all the majors. Last line of defense is ERL. Last line of defense is external. This last line of defense right here is the external of this range. I like yes. Let's go. How would you go about taking a trade when there's no higher time frame? Can you elaborate on that question? What do you mean when there's no higher time frame for value gap unusual context? I'm always trading off fair value gaps unless it's a swing point. That's it. I only trade off fair value gaps and swing points. There's you won't catch me trading off of anything else. It's just a fair value gap or a swing point that I'm trading off of. Monthly bullish order flow, weekly shifting. So the order flow shifted here on the weekly, looks very bearish, but again, it comes down to dollar. You're just gonna keep hearing me say that because that's all it really comes down to is dollar. Swept this external. So in my stream, in my live trading, I said, right, I do not want to be shorting pound here. I mentioned that once we swept this sell side on euro and pound, I believe euro did as well. Yeah, right. So once this went, I said, all right, we want to take a step back. I told the stream live trading, I said, I want to take a step back here because this is an area that can cause retracement now back into the range. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So when we take context, when we sweep liquidity, you always want to take that step back and let price convince you that it wants to continue lower through that liquidity. Otherwise, you're reading the lower time frame order flow to see if this begins to retrace higher. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's like super, super important to understand. So we're failing to trade lower from this daily gap. Weekly, just swept this external. I'm looking at potential draw towards this bullish for value gap, but again, everything just hinges on dollar. So we'll see. Everything that I'm doing and looking at right now just depends on what dollar says. Weekly gap, overlapping line of defense, daily. Not much to say on Canadian dollar here. Euro. Maurice, what's up, bro? What's up? What's up? What's up? Same thing on euro, right? We just swept this weekly. We may want to retrace here a little bit. All hinges on dollar. I mentioned in the stream, live trading streams in the Discord, I mentioned I'm looking at this daily gap as a draw. I was actually trying to long euro on Friday towards this daily gap. So like a counter trend long. Right here, there was a gap that was forming. We ended up retracing and not creating that gap, but I wanted to long this right here. If we created that gap towards this buy side, that's the trade I was looking for on Friday, but didn't end up presenting anything for me. So we just move on to the next, but that's all that we do. Yen, interesting yen. We have potential context here setting up, but again, relies entirely on dollar. We have very, very bearish monthly order flow. The weekly order flow shifted. All right. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Interesting stuff here on yen. New Zealand dollar trading into the OB on the monthly, weekly, creating gaps lower, right? This new leg here, creating new weekly gaps lower. Daily, 4 hour potentially shifting. We'll see here. We may get a little retracement. They might want to run this into that SIBI on the weekly. So you want to be reading the lower time frame order flow to see, all right, do we begin to have a bit of bullish New Zealand dollar towards that daily gap? That's more so what I would be expecting here. But again, don't want to keep repeating myself. It all hinges on dollar. So what does this daily leg do? That's it. That's all it comes down to here. If I'm looking to trade Forex and I have daily bearish context, if I see a if I'm looking to trade Forex and I have daily bearish context, if I see a 4 hour bearish price and 1 hour gap or stop point, since I need red folder news with 4 hour price action, that's confusing me, bro. See a 4 hour bearish price and 1 hour gap or stop point. News just injects volatility into price. So when you have a clear draw on the daily context, whatever it may be, internal to external, it's going to send price in that direction. Whether if we're still retracing on the daily, then it's going to send price into that daily PD array and then expand. If we've already made that retracement into the daily bearish context, then it's going to just expand off news. I saw some of them have a higher time frame draw and use an intermediate time frame swing point as a P rate enter towards the draw. Just wondering when we should use it for value gap or swing points. I saw some of them have a higher time frame draw and use an intermediate time frame swing point. Right. These questions are frying my mind right now. I don't know why. If we have a higher time frame draw, you can trade off either one, Shane. So it comes down to the legs and price. For example, right here, this is a stop hunt. This is price running this buy side to continue lower, right? So when you have an understanding of where the higher time frame is drawing, you can trade these hunts on liquidity, or you can trade the retest for value gaps. Obviously, there's none right here, but it comes down to a swing point or for value gap, and you want to be trading off of both in the direction of that draw. So the answer to your question is either one, whichever's presenting itself, right? You want to be marking out both and be willing and open to trade off both. So if there's a fair value gap in the price leg, you're expecting that to hold and trade off that. I don't know if I answered that question. I'm kind of confused by it. Last week was super clear about gold, but this week everything except ES is BS because of Dixie. Yeah, dollar. It's all dollar, bro. Do you rely on candle signs to tell? Candle signs is just, bro. Candle signs are just respect and disrespect. All the fancy names and stuff. It's just respect and disrespect. So are these candles respecting this OB? Or are they closing above? That's all it is. So yes, I do. To answer your question. For example, if we've retraced into the fair value gap, are you waiting for that? I don't wait for a candle to close. All right. So if we have a daily gap, right? I'm understanding respect or disrespect of this daily gap. Do we wick it or do we have a close within it? But I'm not waiting for the candle to close. I'm reading the lower time frame order flow. So if we have a daily gap, I'm reading the 1 hour and saying, all right, the 1 hour shifted bearish here and we're pointing lower. That's going to show as a wick on the daily, but I'm not waiting for the daily candle to close, right? I'm confirming the respect of that gap off the 1 hour order flow, understanding the 1 hour gaps. Does that make sense? I like crude oil too. Okay, sick. Which pair is this? This is AU right now. Got you? All right, perfect. So yeah, I don't wait for the candle to close. I read the lower time frame order flow. Crosses, we're just going straight off of order flow because we don't have an understanding of what dollar wants to do right now. So let's just look at the order flow and see. Sometimes I feel like saying goodbye. Monthly bullish order flow, weekly trading into this area for value here. Kind of consolidating here on the weekly. Daily. Want to see if we fail to offer for value here. If we continue to disrespect this, we can look at this buy side and continue to trade higher towards that buy side. 4 hour looks bullish. Yeah, this looks good. I'm bullish on AUD CAD. This looks good. Sometimes I feel like saying goodbye. It comes down to the currency though, right? So dollar, we just gotta wait and see what dollar says. Monthly internal to external potential we're respecting, and we swept this previous candle high on the monthly, right? Weekly, what are we saying? Well, we have this weekly internal to external we're respecting, so looks very in the middle to me. We're respecting internal on the monthly, and then we're respecting internal on the weekly in the opposite direction. So conflicting things we're seeing here. Daily, creating a gap higher, just consolidating. 4 hour bullish order flow. So pretty in the middle on that. I would lean bullish though, gun to my head. Monthly, internal here. See if we respect this or not. Weekly gap lower. We have this order block right here. Daily creating a gap higher. Really don't like this. Everything's right now just, this looks gross to me. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Monthly bullish order flow. Weekly internal to external potential, but it looks like we're wicking higher right now, which is interesting. Daily. This is just a failure swing. This is just this delivery is gross. This is why I always say I really don't ever want to be trading these correlated pairs. They're just the price action on them is gross. So AUD NZD and Euro Pound I would not want to trade. I don't like trading them. Monthly internal to external playing out here on CAD CHF. This actually looks really good off the monthly. Oh, the weekly looks gross though. The weekly is straight consolidation. Not what you want to see. Daily. Yeah, this isn't good. This is straight chop, bro. Oh my god. Monthly looked good. I like the monthly, right? We have the fair value area. But then we get lower, we get some more details here, and this looks pretty gross. So everything is just really shit right now with Forex, I'm not gonna lie. So I haven't been putting much focus on it. I'm trying to give you guys the analysis to give it, but it's just pretty gross. Monthly internal to external on CAD yen. Weekly, no gaps higher. Daily, do we create gaps lower? We have not yet. I would be waiting to see new fair value gaps lower out of this consolidation. Until then, I'd just be waiting. But bearish to me. Monthly internal in the middle right now. Want to see if we respect or disrespect this. Weekly internal as well. So again, conflicting things here. Daily, this is just weird price action. Choppy, low probability. Do you guys see how everything that I'm looking at right now has conflicting, disagreeing context, right? We have the monthly gap, internal to external with the bearish fair value gap. Then we have the weekly bullish, internal to external. We have daily bearish, right? It's just all conflicting, 50-50, not what you want to be seeing in terms of high probability price delivery. And this is the characteristics of price when we are just not favorable, right? When it's unfavorable to be trading, this is what it'll look like. There will either be a lack of fair value gaps or there'll be a lack of clarity where you can frame both sides of the market. Weekly internal to external traded into this order block here, and we're respecting it. Daily gaps lower. This looks bearish to me. Throw that on the short list. How do we know that the swing point isn't being invalidated when price reaches into it? The same way I said I confirm the fair value gaps, right? I confirm it with the lower time frame order flow. You do the exact same thing with swing points. So whether you're trading off a swing point or a fair value gap, you're confirming the respect or disrespect of it based on the lower time frame order flow. Does that answer your question, Mosa? Straight chop on the weekly. This is disgusting, bro. Forex just looks like so bad right now. So bad. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Awesome. Yeah, dude, Forex looks terrible. So when things look terrible, just focus on a different asset class. Focus on a different instrument. Don't force your hand. You have two options here. When the higher time frame is in consolidation on Forex or the entire asset class or whatever, it just looks terrible. You either focus on something else that's moving or you remain on the sidelines. I mean, look at this, bro. Look at it's disgusting. Like, there's nothing to be had. There's no point in trying to make sense of it. There's no point in trying to trade it. Just skip it. Same thing with Euro. Not a fan of trading these correlated pairs. Weekly internal to external played out like we expected, which is nice to see. Now we're sweeping this external range liquidity, probably working back into the range on the daily. Okay, we have no gap lower on the daily, but like I said, we're sweeping this external. 4 hour, nothing to be had here on Euro. Again, I don't trade the correlated pairs anyway. I mean, bro, like look at the chart. Everything we look at is just straight barcode or indecisive. Monthly gap right here, which is interesting. But straight barcode, I'd be looking at the monthly gap and higher, but just garbage. Everywhere we look, it's just cheeks. Monthly sweeping this buy side. Daily trading lower, consolidation. Just not a fan of any of this. This is actually gross to look at. Like, it makes me sick. If I wasn't doing a weekly forecast and felt obligated to look at these things, I would be skipping every single one of them instantly. Monthly bullish order flow. Weekly. Beginning to close above this small SIBI here. Trade higher. Daily. No gaps. There's one right here that got respected. Now we're failing to create a new gap higher. There's nothing to say. Like, I have nothing to say about them. Monthly bullish order flow. Weekly bullish order flow. Trading higher, potentially towards that buy side. Daily. Want to see a disrespect of this SIBI and the new gaps higher. If we create a new gap higher, potentially that could be decent. Are you big into SMT? When it's really, really obvious, usually at internal, like when we're at internal range liquidity and we create an SMT, that's when I'll use it, but it has to jump off the chart at me. Like, it has to really jump off the chart. Chop on the weekly. Daily, disgusting. I mean, Forex is just terrible, bro. Don't get burnt right now. If you force your hand in this type of price action on Forex, you're just going to go into drawdown. Weekly, internal to external. Daily, consolidation. Skip. GBP, NZD, monthly, trading higher. Weekly, no gaps. Wicks, daily, consolidation. 4-hour consolidation. You guys see a pattern here? Monthly order block, no gaps. Weekly, internal to external, being respected, conflicting things we're seeing. Daily, consolidation. New Zealand dollar CHF, monthly, internal to external, respecting. Weekly, disrespecting this buy side, failing to offer fair value. I'd be looking at this potential SIBI. Daily, consolidation. Again, not ideal. We'll see if that ends up falling through lower and creating gaps lower, but monthly, internal to external, potential. Weekly, I'd be looking at this buy side, or buy side imbalance. Daily, consolidation. All right, man, we're off that. Jeez, that was disgusting. That's like, it feels like a chore to look at that. When I look at Forex, I understand the futures value. Yeah, it's important to have diversity in what asset classes you're looking at, because when things look garbage like that, you have to be able to either remain sidelined or go and look at something that's actually moving. Because the edge is when price actually wants to move. It's not when it's just consolidating. If we look to trade gold or silver and have a higher time frame context when looking for stop points and for value gaps, what checklist would we need? If you're trading my Solus model, I gave out a checklist. Like, there's a checklist for it in terms of what you need for the entries. But it all comes down to time frame alignment. It comes down to what model you're trading with your entry model, all that. I've now started XAU USD since I can't trade gold directly. Do you look and trade NIC? No, I don't. Nah, I've never traded this or even looked at it, honestly. CS, what's up, bro? Ranjan. Hopefully I don't mispronounce that. I have a question about pound CHF. Is very good, but Euro CHF. Pound CHF. It's all right. I mean, daily is straight consolidation. Weekly, we do have the internal, the external, but again, not all fair value gaps are made equal. Right now, we're just kind of consolidating on the daily. I don't love it. Euro CHF is even worse, yeah. But, I mean, I don't think pound CHF looks amazing. Monthly, indices have been printing. Gold has been printing. Nah, I haven't went over futures yet, Chauncey. I'm doing it right now. Monthly bullish order flow, right? We traded into this order block, this area for value. We respected it and headed higher. Weekly, see, this is, do you guys see the difference in the price action? In high probability price action, clean price delivery, expanding price delivery, versus what we just looked at, like how ugly Forex looked versus what indices look like right now. Weekly internal to external, but we're getting a potential breakaway gap on the weekly. We're probably creating daily 4-hour gaps higher. Okay, no daily gap. What's the 4-hour saying? 4 hours kind of consolidating. Right now I'm in the middle because we do have the weekly gap lower, but until we see 4-hour gaps pointing that way, until I see a 4-hour bearish fair value gap pointing towards that weekly gap, we may just continue to expand. So I'm not necessarily bearish yet towards this weekly gap. If the 4-hour shifts and we get new 4-hour gaps lower and it begins to point that way, I'll look to short indices towards that weekly gap, and then I'll flip long once we shift from the weekly gap. But right now, I'm just reading the 1-hour and 4-hour order flow. If we continue to expand and create fair value gaps on the 1-hour and 4-hour, then this weekly gap likely becomes a breakaway gap. If we shift on the 1-hour and 4-hour and the fair value gaps begin pointing lower, then this weekly gap becomes my draw, and I'm shorting indices towards that weekly gap, towards that internal. There's no bullish PD ray in 4-hour daily, right? So I'd be waiting for new gaps. The only thing you can really trade off here is swing points, right? So this is what I mean. If we're going to respect this and trade higher, we can trade off that. But it really comes down to understanding the draw and waiting. So I'll throw it on the wait list for now. I'm waiting to see what happens with indices. Same thing on NASDAQ. It's going to be very, very similar analysis. We trade into this monthly OB, or sorry, this is a weekly OB right here. Is it a monthly OB? This was a monthly OB right here that we traded into. We're failing to expand really on NASDAQ. NASDAQ definitely looks weaker to me in general, all around, right? More sloppy consolidation, lack of fair value gaps. We didn't even create that weekly fair value gap, whereas indices, I mean, not indices, the S&P created that weekly fair value gap. So, right, lack of weekly fair value gap, creation of weekly fair value gap. There's clearly a difference in the strength on the higher time frame. And so if I'm longing, I would prefer S&P. If I'm shorting, I would prefer NASDAQ. So if it becomes clear that, you know, the S&P is drawing towards this weekly gap, then I want to be shorting NASDAQ with that same draw, right? So does that make sense, guys? That's very, very important to understand. Monthly consolidation on crude oil. Weekly swept this buy side and we're trading lower. I'm actually looking at this sell side here to begin to act as a draw. We're creating daily gaps lower. The daily has shifted. So I'm bearish on crude oil right now. This looks good for lower. I'll be watching potential shorts. Yeah, 4-hour gaps pointing lower. Interesting. Looking at crude oil. Blair money just from ES. Have you already went over futures? Yes, I answered that. Does gold and silver get their volatility from news events, or is it just injected at kill zones? There's news events that affect the metals as well, yeah. Monthly bullish fair value gap. Weekly internal to external. Gold has been absolutely printing, boys, ladies and gentlemen. Printing. I mean, we called this to the did we not call this move perfectly in the last forecast? Beautiful internal to external, all forecasted. There's no hindsight here. This is what we do, man. This is what we do, right? So daily creating this expansion through that weekly external. All right, let me talk about this. This is very, very important to understand. I'm expanding on what I mentioned before. We were bullish on gold, like I said. Once this external went, right, once we achieved that external range liquidity, that is where you want to take a step back and say, all right, price needs to now convince me whether it wants to keep expanding through this external. Okay, so once we get, let me draw this out. Once we get to this buy side, right here, you say, okay, the context is gone. The weekly context is gone. Let me take a step back, right? Now, price needs to convince you if it wants to keep expanding through that external. If price does not convince you on the lower time frames and show fair value gaps through that external, and instead it shifts and begins to point lower and not create gaps through, instead, you know, we might create bearish fair value gaps on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour. Well, at that point, you're expecting a retracement now from that external. But what we see on gold on the lower time frames is once we take that external range liquidity, once we expand through it, you know, we know that it's still bullish, right? This gray line up here is that weekly external, right? So let's watch the reaction. Boom. When we got right here at this time, I said, all right, I want to take a step back. I need to see price convince me that it wants to continue higher. Boom. We create new fair value gaps through. This would have been another long opportunity through that external because we created gaps through it. Now this was in London, so I didn't take this. I know some of the people in the Trading Patiently Academy took this. I saw people on Twitter take it, and I definitely would have taken this myself, but I'm asleep during London, right? But this created gaps through the external, showing that it still has strength. And what is it doing now? It's just showing strength through the external. So we're still bullish, right? So now we're looking for new PD arrays to trade off of and continue higher. We're not just, I don't understand the whole thing about people hating trading all-time highs. We're just bullish until the order flow shifts, right? Until the order flow begins pointing lower on the lower time frames, until we stop creating gaps to the upside, you're just long biased and you're longing the discount arrays in the direction of that draw. Like you're biased, you're bullish bias. So I don't really understand all the hate on trading all-time highs. Just bullish until we begin to point lower. So you could short retracements. I wouldn't recommend shorting gold at all-time highs right now. You know, you want to be ideally longing these retracements to the discount arrays, right? So now we have this area of fair value here. If we create a weekly gap through it, I'd be looking to long that, and we have new context. So gold is extremely bullish. Add that to the long list. Metals, this is just the CFD version of gold. Silver as well, extremely bullish, right? We talked about all of this. We're creating new gaps higher. We're expanding through this buy side. This becomes our area of fair value, and I'm bullish on silver as well. And yeah, metals have been extremely bullish. Everything was forecasted, last week. We've been bullish on gold. And the important thing is not only forecasting it, but it's really not about being right or wrong or forecasting correctly. It's about reacting to order flow. So what you see me do and what I can, no ego, I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but what I do very well is I flow with price. I react to price. I understand where it's pointing and where it's, shifting. I react and I flow constantly with price. I'm not worried about having 100% accuracy in these forecasts. I'm worried about getting on side quickly. I'm worried about being in a flow state with what the gaps and what the order flow say to me. That's it. That's all it is. I mean, that's all that trading is. We're understanding where price is going and we're trading. We're buying low and we're selling high in the direction that it's going. That's all trading is, right? That's all we're trying to do. That's how you become profitable. That's how you have edge. Could you teach us how to trade indices? I've got no idea. Yeah, I trade indices every single week. I teach how to trade indices. It's part of my model, right? My Solus model is mainly, the meat and bones of it, or whatever the phrase is indices. I trade everything, but I trade a lot of indices. So I do that in the Trading Patiently Academy. I share so much stuff on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram. I share stuff for free everywhere. So for the people that want the free stuff, it's all out there, right? There's tons of stuff out there. If you want the extra sauce, if you want the model in detail, if you want like personal access to me, that's going to be in the academy at tradingpatiently.com. So for the people that want to put the work in and decipher the free content, you can do that. For the people that want it more on a platter, organized, want the sauce and direct access to me, go to tradingpatiently.com. And then I live trade like 3 to 4 days a week in there. So if you guys want to live trade with us, make some money this week, there's a free trial at that link. You can live trade with us completely free for 7 days. But like I said, I have so much value out there for free as well. So it really comes down to what you're looking for. Bro, do we have to use Forex kill zones or futures kill zones for metals and oil? I use 8 to 12. So I just trade 8 to 12 on metals. After 12, the volatility dies out on metals. But yeah, 8 to 12, I'm looking at these things. And then after that, I usually check out. I'll trade indices in PM session. Indices are the only thing that I'll look at in PM session and be willing to trade because they do move in PM session. Everything else, crude oil, gold, silver, euro, and pound, the volatility dries out after like 12. So that's why 8 to 12 is the kill zone. That's why that's what I'm focused on for Solus. And then I'm going to be swing trading as well. So for the people that swing and want to see swing ideas, that want to be understanding swinging as well, I mean, I don't know what else people could want. Like, I'm looking at price in the most simple way. I'm giving my thoughts. I'm in there 24/7. There's a free trial, so if you don't like it, you just cancel. It's a no-brainer. Everything in the academy, in my opinion, is a no-brainer. So swing trading ideas, intraday trading ideas, how to trade indices. I trade futures intraday, and then I'm swinging. I have a swing account with Elite Trader funding now, and then I have a CFD swing account. So it's literally the best of both worlds. Like, whatever you guys want, I'm trying to provide. And then if you guys don't want to, join the premium academy, I completely get it, right? I completely understand if that's something that you can't afford to do right now or don't want to do. Well, then I provide a ton of free value all over the social media. So, yeah, man. I mean, I love seeing people win. Like, I truly love, just the other day, I got a message. I don't know if she's in here, but Olivia, one of the people in the academy, just got funded. Like, there is no better message to get than that. Like, I don't care what it is. I don't care about seeing money in my bank or seeing me hit a winning trade. It's so much more fulfilling to see someone that I taught or someone that has been struggling and learned the things that I showed them and applied them and got payout or got funded. Like, that is so much more fulfilling. And I said, like, truly, I'm not trying to get too, like, religious on you guys, but I said to God, like, if he allows me to have this knowledge and do this, I promise to pay it forward. Like, I'll always pay it forward. And that to me is so fulfilling. Truly seeing people win, seeing people learn and apply the things that I show them and get funded or hit payouts and really apply this stuff and feel that feeling of winning with this. Like, that is the most fulfilling thing ever, bro. It makes me emotional thinking about. Those are the best messages. Like, there is no. So I want to actually talk about this really quick. I don't want to go on a rant here. But on Instagram, there's people reach out in the DM and they're like marketing, like they want to network and they want to help with whatever. And this dude reaches out to me and he's like, I applied your concepts and I got funded. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I love that. Like, I was so happy for him. Those are the best messages. And then he just messages me again and he's like trying to he basically lied about using my stuff and he just used it as a way to get me to respond. And I just sent him an audio message and I'm like, listen, bro, like, that is a terrible way to network. You're not going to get business from me doing that. Please don't do that. That's, so I'm just, as a fair warning to you guys, for those of you that are trying to network with people, don't be dishonest. Don't lie. Don't do something like that. Be deceiving to try and connect. I'm going on a rant here, but that didn't rub me the right way. Like, it actually pissed me off. Like, lying to me about getting funded from what I'm learning just so you can get me to respond and then try to sell me on something that you're doing, a service or whatever. Like, bro, come on. It's very important to be transparent, to be real. Even in, like, when I'm live trading or I'm feeling wrong, like last week, I didn't have that good of a execution week. I did really bad, honestly. I could have had 4 or 5 trades. I only took 2. Like, my execution was bad last week. And it's so important to me to be transparent about that and be transparent about how I feel with the people in the Discord or with you guys, with whoever, whether it's on the free YouTube, on the free Instagram, on social media. It's very important to be transparent with everyone that you interact with. So, like, I'll tell them when I'm feeling emotional or when I'm feeling like my performance is bad, because the reality is there's highs and lows to trading. There's ups and downs. It's not just all up. It's not all just making money. There's drawdown, there's losing streaks, there's win streaks. There's times when you're just not executing well, and you have to be able to snap out of that very quickly, and you have to be able to self-check yourself and hold yourself accountable. And that's why it's important to have simple ways of viewing price. So that's my rant. But yeah, man, just be transparent with everything that you guys do. If you can be yourself in the most purest form, unapologetically, and you know, you're just pure with your intentions and the way that you approach people, I don't know what else, you know, that's the best thing that you can do. Like, just be yourself unapologetically, be pure, have pure intentions, and you're going to get the most out of the people you interact with. Do you trade prop or personal funds? I trade both. Also, do you trade Forex more or futures? I trade futures more, intraday. Thomas, what's up, bro? I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Can I execute on any breaker that forms? You want to be using breakers in alignment with the draw. So you need a draw on liquidity, you need narrative, and then you want a breaker that forms at that PD array within the kill zone that you're trading. So if your kill zone's at 8 to 12, then yes, you can trade a breaker that forms off the higher time frame PD array in the direction of your draw. Correct. How often are you live trading? I live trade 3 to 4 times a week. It also kind of depends on what days I'm going to be trading, how active I'm going to be in the markets. It really depends on market conditions, things like that. But I shoot for 3 a week. I tend to consistently hit 3 a week. It's 3 to 4. And yeah, I mean, I truly think the live trading is gold, because I talk about psychology, I talk about risk management, I talk about how I'm seeing things in the moment. I talk about my highs and lows, the things that I'm struggling with, the things that I could be doing better, how I self-correct, how I hold myself accountable, all those things. It's very, very important to understand that stuff, to find consistency. These two people, Cam and Sir Pickle, are seriously people that have simplified ICT to a level all the rest of ICT concepts are needed. Just a box and a line is funny, but it's actually a gold mine. That's it, bro. That's all it is. You just need a box and a line, because everything else, it's noise. And the reason for that is we're getting to the same destination in the most simple way. And when you can get to the destination in the most simple way possible, then you have all this extra focus, all this extra energy to be able to self-correct. So like I just told you guys, being fully transparent is important to me. And I said, my last week of execution was poor. Like, I didn't have a good execution week. I could have executed on, like, the model provided 4 or 5 trades and I only took 2 of them. There was a multitude of reasons for that. I journaled all of it. I reflected on all of it. And I'm able to self-correct and identify those things very, very quickly, because the way that I view price is so simple. The way that I'm understanding where price is going is so simple. And like I said, all we need to do as traders is understand where price is going and flow with it, and then buy low and sell high. You know, that's it. That's really all it is at the simplest form. It's not about being right. It's not about having perfect forecast and predicting perfect tops and bottoms on the markets. It's about understanding where price is going, getting in alignment with that, and then just buying low and selling high. That's it. So all you need is a gray box and a gray line. That's all you need. Truly, I promise. You know, I'll go to my grave defending that. That's all that you need. You know, I'm living proof. Sir Pickle's living proof. Ario is living proof, right? That's all that you need. For unusual context, daily BISI failed to offer fair value now. Seeking liquidity at daily swing low. Do you wait for a daily SIBI for new usual context? So if the daily bullish fair value gap fails to offer fair value, we get a strong close below it, and then we're getting new 1 hour, 4 hour gaps pointing towards that daily last line of defense, that daily sell side. You can trade that intraday towards that draw. So you'd have a bearish draw towards the sell side. You can trade off the 1 hour and 4 hour gaps, right? Those would be your higher time frame PD array, and then you're looking for your entry at those PD arrays in the direction of that last line of defense. So that would be trading daily, quote unquote, unusual context, as Ario calls it. In his private academy from day one, anyone can learn from his very professional people in that group. Love that, bro. I love seeing your growth, Thomas. I can definitely see the growth. You're going to continue to keep learning and improving every single day. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the forecast. If you guys want to live trade with us, like I said, the link, I'll just send it one more time in the chat. Start a free trial. If you guys don't like it, then you just cancel. And that's pretty much it, man. I hope to see you guys in there. If not, I still have the free version of the server as well. And I will be, you know, answering all your questions, addressing everything that you guys have to ask me. Can you show the trades you've taken last week? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to hop off the live. I can send you them on Discord, or I can send them in the Discord after this if you want. But I kind of want to watch some football. I'm gonna be, like I said, it's important for me to be transparent. To be honest, I really want to watch some football right now, man. So I wanted to make sure to get the weekly forecast done and do this, but I want to hop off and watch some football. I will send you my trades if you want to see them, but I don't really feel like going through them, honestly. Just being completely honest. I'm sorry if that sounds rude, but can you send, because I did the weekly recap. Yeah, so there was 4 if you're trading 8 to 12. There was a 5th one in PM session on indices, so that's pretty high frequency. The reason I found 5 was because one of them would have been on ES in PM session, but there was 4. It was the 2 I didn't take. One of them was gold. I'll just try to go through really quickly. One of them I didn't take was gold. This swing low sweep right here. Here's one of them. All right, I'll just go through it really quick, bro. I don't even care. You already got me talking about it. I'll go through it really quickly. So one of the trades that I missed was gold. I'll go over the ones that I missed. Internal to external, we called it out, and this should have been a winning trade for me. I should have taken this, but I missed it. Where's the swing low sweep? Was it this? Where was that swing low sweep I was just talking about? This. So one of the weekly internal to external, we have that draw higher. This is a example of using a swing low to trade off of in the direction of that higher time frame draw. So we know price is still going towards this weekly gap, right? We know that price is still drawing towards that weekly external. We hadn't taken it yet. And so this swing low becomes a PD ray that we can long off of. So why is it not showing? Why is it not showing that? Oh, it is. Okay. So this swing low right here is that 4-hour swing low. Once we traded into it, that is where you can look for your entry function. And so obviously we can see on the 4-hour respected it, but to confirm that that's actually being respected by price, I'm not waiting for the candle to close. I'm waiting for the order flow at this time, right? The candle is still printing on the 4-hour at this time. The candle is still printing on the 4-hour, but I'm using the lower time frame order flow to confirm that we're respecting that. So once we create these new gaps higher and we trade above, you can trade this unicorn in the direction of that higher time frame draw. So this was one of the trades that I wanted to take, and I just missed. That was a winning trade, right? Beautiful model, unicorn in the direction of that draw. The other one was on crude oil. I believe it was a stop hunt as well. I'm trying to remember what day that was on. What day was this crude oil short? I can't remember. Oh, it was the other crude oil contract. Wait, am I bugging? I don't know. I gotta think about this. Wait, let me look at my phone. I'll look at my journal. Sometimes I feel like singing really quickly, and then I want to watch some football. My time has not yet come. Give me 2 seconds. Sometimes I feel like saying goodbye. But my time has not yet come. Okay, that's why. Because this crude oil contract is different. We rolled over. Okay, so there's rollover, right? We roll over to different contract expiries. The previous one, I think this is December. So the previous one was November 2024. Yeah, CLX. Wait. I'm so lost right now. Where's the 4 hour? Here it is. Okay. I got it. My fault. This here. 4 hour internal to external, right? We're respecting this SIBI on the 4 hour. Here it is. This was the other trade I missed. This was on Wednesday. Traded into that 4 hour internal, and we're looking for a move lower towards this external range liquidity. So from there, I can trade directly off that 4 hour gap lower and look for my entry function. Why is it not just transposing it? I'm outside and I ain't gone. Tell me everything you done. Is this right here? This breaker. Everything you done. Towards that external on the 4 hour. Cover this. Target 2 hour. That was the other winner on crude. So these are the two that I missed this week. And then there was one in PM that I missed as well off the 15-minute SIBI or BISI. So we had this 4 hour. It actually didn't hit the external on the 4 hour, which is interesting. But at the time I was looking at this. Internal to external on the 4 hour. Right, that's my draw. That's my higher time frame bias. I'm looking for higher indices. We get 15-minute gaps pointing higher. Right here, you drop it in the 1 minute. You can trade the unicorn in the direction of this 15-minute external, which aligns with the external on the 4 hour. No, that's not the one. Where was it, bro? Was it? Oh, this is Thursday, bro. I'm tripping. It was on Friday. Where? Hold on, bro. Here it is. Okay, my bad. Sorry, guys. It's so hard for me to find these quickly. So that 4 hour external to internal. I mean, internal to external. Jesus. 4 hour internal to external is my draw. Higher. Yes. 15-minute gap higher. So from internal to external on the 15-minute right here. And then we had the 1 minute unicorn from that 15-minute PD ray. So this was the other trade that I missed. So I'll usually do something like this. Target the external, give myself 2R. Like 3 points is fine like that. And then boom, that's your entry. Once this unicorn forms, right, we get a stop hunt from that 15-minute gap. We get a body close above, creating a gap within the breaker. Take your entry right here. You would have got filled right here. Target 2R and just let the thing work. That was the other trade, another winner. So I miss these, man. And it is what it is. Not every week is perfect, beautiful, perfect execution. We're human. We're not gonna make executions like a robot. We're gonna have things that go on in our lives. We're gonna have times when we don't have focus. We're gonna have times when we don't sleep well. We're gonna have times when we're upset, happy, euphoric, overconfident, all these things. And it's our job to keep ourselves in check, execute at the best of our ability. And that is why I preach, right? Gray box and a gray line, because when you have a simple approach to these markets, when you can get in alignment with these markets and understand where they're going in the most simple way possible, you can have all that focus and energy to self-correct and keep yourself in check. Because like I said, we're humans and we are imperfect by nature, right? There's only one person that's perfect. We all know who that is, right? And it's not us. So you have to be able to self-correct and hold yourself accountable. And yeah, man. So yeah, I wanted to watch football, but I went ahead and did that for you. So if that doesn't speak volumes about how I feel about you guys caring about your growth and whatnot, I don't know what does. Thank you. You're the best. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, SRP, man. I appreciate your support, bro. You're always here. I appreciate you always tuning in and showing love and being in the chat, man. So I'm excited to help you grow. Tomorrow is a holiday. Is tomorrow a holiday? For who? Tomorrow's a holiday? Not for me. Wrote a review on your trade. Missed trades is gold. Thanks for sharing. Of course. Get some rest, bro. You give us an hour of your time for free. Thank you for very much. God bless. Man, I love you guys, man. You guys are the best. I really love you guys. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to, continue to watch you guys grow. And just appreciate all the love and support, man. You guys are the best. Like, you guys are like family. So yeah, man. I hope you guys have a good rest of your days. Take it, decompress. I'm going to decompress by watching some football. And I will be in the Discord. If you guys have any more questions, just ping me in the Discord. And we will be live trading in the Discord this week. And yeah, man. Definitely check out the free trial. The link that I sent above. If you guys want to do that. If not, it's all good. No worries. I'll see you in the free Discord. I'll see you wherever on social media. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Can't wait to continue to watch you guys grow. All right. We'll talk soon. And see ya. Have a good rest of your day.